Welcome to this new episode of Death Row Stories. I'm in Houston, Texas, in Harris County, often called the death penalty capital of the world. If you're not familiar with why that is, you might want to watch my interview with Estelle Hebron-Jones from the Texas Defender Service. She explained the role that racism plays in the application of capital punishment here. On November 5th, 2024, Harris County elected a new district attorney, a new DA here. His name is Sean Teare. He won with only 25,000 more votes than his Republican opponent. His score, almost 51%. The same day, Kamala Harris won the county with almost 52%. Curious about the new DA's views on the death penalty, I looked into his statements to see if things might change here. Two of my AI friends will tell you what I found just after a short clip from my interview with Estelle Hebron-Jones, where she explains the importance of the DA in the implementation of the death penalty. The DA today is still very strongly in favor of the death penalty in this very Democrat environment. Do you have any explanation about that, or is it like a kind of mystery?
I do think it's kind of a mystery. I wouldn't say, so current DA is Kim Ogg. In her time, she has presided over several death sentences coming down, definitely less than her predecessors, but she hasn't shied away from using it. I think that the DA's office now would argue that they're only pursuing death sentences against the worst offenders. I would disagree with that. But why it's still something that happens? I think it's still Texas at the end of the day, and I think that DAs still feel pressure to act in ways where they can show that they're being tough on crime.
Given that capital punishment is part of the Texas law, to what extent can the Harris County District Attorney influence its implementation? Could they, for instance, decide to cease seeking for the death penalty altogether if they wished?
Oh yeah, they definitely could. So, for example, in Travis County, the DA there has said that he's not pursuing any death sentences during his tenure. That's one way that they can stop.
In the conservative media, Texas Scorecard, here's what Sean Teare said in October 2024. I am not an abolitionist. I am a pragmatic prosecutor. I believe in the oath and believe, in certain circumstances, in the death penalty.
At the beginning of 2024, Sean Teare participated in a debate with Kim Ogg, who was the district attorney of Texas at the time.
Kim Ogg said, "We have taken more people off death row during the Ogg administration than have ever been put on death row by a previous administration. We use the death penalty the most sparingly because it is the ultimate sanction."
Sean Teare replied, "My discretion as to seeking the death penalty is going to be very akin to the way that Ms. Ogg has done it."
Today, 174 people are on death row in Texas. 64 of them are from Harris County. That represents 37% of them. That's interesting because Harris County's population is only 16% of Texas population. If you're watching on YouTube, let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're listening on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Amazon Music, or YouTube Podcast, don't forget to subscribe and to share this episode. I will release in the coming days the final part of my interview with Pamela Perio. If you haven't watched the previous ones yet, I really encourage you to do so. Her story is really incredible. I don't want to reveal too much here because some of you might not know the beginning of the story. It's not too late. Come on, check it out. This interview will remain for sure one of the highlights of Death Row Stories.